This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
A warm, humid night in St. Louis, and two teams that are fighting for their playoff lives. We're in St. Louis at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. It's St. Louis FC against San Antonio FC. Hello again, everybody. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Bob Ramsey alongside my partner, Bill McDermott. Well, as teams go through the season, Bill, April, May, we've got time to figure things out. June rolls through. We've got time. July. Maybe even early August. Bill, there's no more time.
No, there is no more time.
No more.
And how frank can we be other than the fact that what interim head coach Tim Leonard told me during the week? It's very simple. This is a do or die scenario. The players realize that, and that's the way they train this week. But just to give you a feel how close this is, Bob, San Antonio, the opponent tonight, is in the last playoff spot right now. Okay, they're in 8th spot. 31 points. St. Louis is behind him in 12th place with 29 points. So that's how close this can be. And just this past week, San Antonio did just what St. Louis FC has to do. They won 2 games, they got 6 points, they got right back in the thick of it.
Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen, and how will they do it tonight? As we take a look at the starting lineups, you will see, first of all, the red-hot San Antonio squad comes in, and they're scoring goals, and they're defending better, and they're doing what it takes at this time of year.
They really are. This is a pretty solid first 11, one that is pretty much used for every game. Now, with the exception of they are missing 2 vital players, Stephen McCarthy and Josh Ford, the goalkeeper and the captain, Josh Ford. Matt Cardone steps in. Both of those players I just mentioned, they have been in the first 11 pretty much all year long. They are lost for the rest of the year due to injuries. Now, the player we want to highlight for them is number 16, Rafael Castillo. This guy is superb on the ball, one of the older players in the league, but he still keeps at it. He's a Colombian, and like all Colombians, I think they follow after Carlos Valderrama. They run the show in midfield. Tim Leonard told me that he's very aware of what he can do. He's gifted in the upper third of the field. He plays people through. He tackles well. He gets involved in the flow of the attack. And he's just an overall nuisance and can be one of the better players in this league, and he was in the team of the week last week.
Well, St. Louis, of course, we've had some games against top-notch players that run the show. We'll see how they do that. Here's Tim Leonard's lineup as you take a look at how he will try and combat that.
Pretty much the same lineup that has been taking place, a 4-4-2 for St. Louis FC, with the blatant exception. You see he's a little bit different color in the photo. That's how new it is. Jason Plumhoff, who played for the Harrisburg team in USL. This is Jason Plumhoff, on loan from the Jacksonville Armada of NASL. Just literally joining the team on Thursday. His first training session was on a Friday. He's inserted into the first 11. He got 10 goals playing for Harrisburg in 2015, by the way, one of which was against St. Louis FC. So they're looking for him to immediately impact the offense.
So what will Tim Leonard do to try and bring this guy in? Obviously, he's marvelously talented. You need to score goals. He's come in to do that, but he has to be integrated into what you're trying to do on the pitch.
Exactly. So he'll combine with Mike Ambersley and Irvin Herrera up top. Those wide players, how many times do we talk about it? They have to impact the game. And the partnership he develops with his wide back, Mitch Lurie, is going to be important as well. Both of them have to get forward. Everybody has to get forward. You have to put this team chasing the game as opposed to vice versa. You've got to get back into the playoff race immediately, and that starts tonight. It is imperative you get 3 points from
And you'll
this
see
game.
we were talking about how jammed it up it is. It'll be about a half a dozen teams trying to get that last spot. You see there's the top. Right after Rio Grande, it really tightens up, especially when you get down to where San Antonio FC is. They've got 31. Then it's Swope Park, Arizona, the Real Monarchs, and St. Louis all battling. All those teams are in between Rio Grande and where St. Louis is right there in the standings.
And it's very simple, Bob. Almost at this stage, every game, every result changes the table almost immediately, with the exception of the top four, the Fantastic Four, if you will, Sacramento, Colorado Springs, Vancouver, and Rio Grande, all of whom are in action tonight against each other. Colorado's at Rio Grande, Vancouver's at the Sacramento Republic. So it may change at the top, but not drastically.
Look, soccer is one of the ultimate team sports, and so you play, you compete with what you have. But to me, adding to the intensity of tonight's match and the importance of the 3 points, you're going to be losing a couple players.
And as a matter of fact, after tonight, the goalkeeper, Ryan Thompson, and Irvin Herrera, your leading goal scorer. Now, this is good for the team. It's good for the overall league. It's happening all over the league.
Great for the
this
league
week.
and great for those individuals.
Positively. Everybody's leaving it for World Cup qualifiers. We'll talk about that more during the course of the game. Here are the players that we talked about with reference to the goalkeepers. We just mentioned Ryan Thompson. He's going to be leaving Tuesday to represent Jamaica in World Cup qualifiers. He'll be playing against Panama and Haiti. Matt Cardoni, he's the guy who steps in for Josh Ford, the aforementioned injured goalkeeper. So Cardoni comes on. He's played in 8 games. This is his 8th game, And Ryan Thompson, remember at the first part of the year, came into the lineup, came into the first 11 in his very first game. Comes out beyond the penalty area, at the tip of the penalty area, tries to clear a ball, tears his hamstring. Doesn't strain it, tears it. Now, to Brian Bound's credit, the athletic trainer, he gets him back playing this year, which is highly unusual.
And playing well.
And to such an extent that he's representing his country in World Cup qualifying.
So, back to tonight's game and the importance. We've seen how these teams break down. We know who the key players are. X's and O's wise, style wise, how do we counterbalance this? Who has to stop who first and foremost?
Well, obviously, when you look at the sheet, the playoff sheet, we talked about the tightness of that race. But in particular, for the home side, Irvin Herrera has to combine with Mike Ambersley as quickly as possible, along with the players who'll be doing the running on the right and left flanks. And they're looking for Jason Plumhoff in particular, and Jordan Roberts steps into the first 11, as opposed to being the player that you look down the bench and say, oh, he can impact the game. Well, this time, as opposed to doing that, which he always did when he came into game. Second game in succession where he's in the first 11. Played against Swope Park Rangers last Sunday. He's in the first 11 again. Can he bring that impactness that he brought to the game coming off the bench into the first 11, which means running at people all night long?
Tyler David has been out of the lineup, but he's a guy who has that kind of energy. And then talk about Alex Morel.
Alex Morel is a young player along with Colin Hernandez, who comes in now. Colin is a different story altogether. Colin Fernandez, a young player with Alex Morel, talking about World Cup call-ups. Colin has been called up by Peru to play in a World Cup qualifier.
Wow.
Now, this is a different level entirely than the CONCACAF level. You're playing in the South American qualification process. He's going to play perhaps against Bolivia. But what you're looking at with these young players is this is the nature of the game, Bob. And Tyler David, who had been playing in the first 11, you mentioned, as one of those holding midfielders alongside of Chad Bond. Sam Fink is back at center back alongside of A.J. Cochran. James Musa moves up to the central midfield position. That's where Tim Lambert is preferring him in the first 11. Dale Schilly, he experimented with that as well to get James more involved in the overall flow of the game. There's a good idea of the first 11 again. Bond alongside of Musa. When Bond goes, Musa will stay. Musa's comfortable staying deep, but he's also comfortable contributing to the attack. With Roberts and Plumhoff on the flanks, Dixon and Lurie as well coming out of the back, and Cochran and Fink will really have to look after people like Frank Tayu. Frank Tayu for the visiting San Antonio team can be very troublesome. He has 4 goals for them, very active. And again, Castillo, that Colombian midfielder, as we look at the interim head coach, Tim Leonard, coming onto the field now. Another change for St. Louis FC. Matt Caution has been added as the assistant coach, and one of the things Tim Leonard told me during the week is that Tim Lees, who's also with the club with St. Louis Scott Gallagher, Kevin Stoll, and Matt Caution, they've brought in some new ideas, some new fresh type of things that they've been experimenting with. And Patrick Duty is back with the club. He's not in the first 11 tonight. Another lone player from the Chicago Fire. He's brought a contagious enthusiasm with him. He's a crowd favorite. You'll see him tonight. I'm almost certain you'll see Patrick Duty.
Yeah.
But that has carried over from the enthusiasm in training to the locker room, and hopefully and ideally, and as we mentioned a moment ago, of the imperative nature, it has to be. It has to carry over onto the field. This is your chance to get 6 points tonight and Wednesday against visiting OKC. As I mentioned just a moment ago, that's what San Antonio did, and that's why they're back in the thick of the race.
You've known Tim Leonard longer than I, but both from his college days. You may have known him even a little before that. And what a great guy. It's exciting to see a St. Louis guy get that kind of opportunity. However, it is truly a challenge for Tim to get something done under these circumstances and to try and piece it together. And it's not, hey, good try, let's get, no, you got to win.
No.
This is pro.
This is not St. Louis Scott Gallagher under 19 tryouts. The report card says, did you win or lose? Did you qualify for the playoffs? How many points did you get? This is professional soccer. We're at the third tier hierarchy, if you will, MLS, NASL, USL. But everybody will tell you, player, coach, how much they've been surprised by the quality of this particular team and this league. The quality of this team and league has improved dramatically year to year. St. Louis FC, when Dale Shuley first began things, till mid-year this year, later in the year, I should say, when the change was made, this team has dramatically improved. They weren't able to get the points. They figured they needed a bump towards the end of the season. Maybe it'll work. But what Tim Leonard told me was that he had a conversation with his wife. He said, you know what? I'm no longer in the passenger seat. I'm running the railroad here. And he also told me that he's taken something from everybody he's coached with. Dale Shiley, of course. Bob Lilly, who is in the league as well in USL. Joe Clark at St. Louis University. Bob Warming from St. Louis University. Dan Donegan. He's tried to take something from everybody at his own style. And we're soon going to see if they can get those vital 6 points. 3 tonight and 3 in their next home game on Wednesday.
Well, and sometimes and frequently you can't take everything at practice and translate it directly to a game. But it'll be interesting to see how much are some of these veteran players added to the team, how much of it is a fresh approach from Tim and the other assistants who have come in. Perhaps this is just the mix in this sort of worldwide technology soccer park cauldron to get it going for one more month.
And as a point to that, responsibility is the key word he said we're focusing on right now. Responsibility for everyone.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. St. Louis FC against San Antonio FC comes your way next. Welcome back to Worldwide Technology Soccer Park in suburban St. Louis. There's a look at the officials who will keep this thing under control tonight. Bob Ramsey, Bill McDermott, glad you're with us on a warm but very humid night. The humidity is as high as it can get without actually being raining.
Here's the player we talked about for the visitors, meeting Chad Bond. This is a bit earlier this afternoon, early this evening. That likewise was earlier, as a matter of fact.
We didn't tell you what it was going to be, but it was earlier.
Yeah. But a brief shower hit here, and it looked like it hit, and you can see it coming down now, pretty intensely for about 30 to 45 minutes. But it seemed like it was raining at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park and no place else on the hemisphere. It came down quickly, intensely, but as quickly as it came, that's how quickly it left. So as the team gets ready, they realize the overall urgency of what is going on here. And Tim Leonard, as I mentioned to you, Bob, he went so far as to say, yeah, it's pretty much do or die.
Keep in mind, a win tonight for St. Louis, something that for 2 years now has been harder to come by than St. Louis FC had hoped. But a win tonight vaults them over, well, at least 2 teams and maybe as many as 4, depending on how the games this weekend play out. But it vaults over at least 2 teams.
At least 2. And another big game tonight with reference to that, Bob. 2 teams that are directly in front of St. Louis FC. In 10th place, Arizona United is playing against the Real Monarchs at home. Arizona's playing at home. Real is in 11th place with 29 points, tied with St. Louis FC, who's in 12th. Arizona United has 30 points. The Swope Park Rangers, who are entertaining the Los Angeles Galaxy,
I see
likewise.
An officer from the St. Louis County Police Department. Thankfully, he is out there telling the officials he's got an eye on them. I think it's going to take somebody who is armed to keep the officials in line.
I don't think he was kicking out the first ball. He was heavily armed for that duty, if indeed he was.
He's letting the officials know he's watching them, and I like that.
He just came out. I think he came out just to tell them. There is your referee in the middle, Jose Lara. He pretty much come out to say, hey, Jose, we need 3 points tonight.
Keep
here
it
in St.
straight,
Louis.
buddy.
Let them play.
San Antonio comes out all white, top to bottom, except for their keeper, Matt Carboni. He's in Dayglow green. And St. Louis FC, Kelly green tops, white shorts, navy blue socks, and all in red, head to toe, is the terrific Ryan Thompson in goal for St. Louis. St. Louis FC be moving right to left as we get this one underway. As always, in every event, sporting event, but when goals and scoring are hard to come by, the team that can get up first changes the entire pace and direction of the contest.
Make the other team, especially the visitors, make them chase the game.
There's a long flighted ball looking for Herrera. Into the penalty area, he curls out, waits for his teammates to catch up, swings that to Jordan Roberts. Into the penalty area, a little bit of crossover. Left boot goes through, and he couldn't get Dixon on it. Now Dixon will run it down. Richard Dixon, some opportunities early. Drops it in for Plumhoff, his first touch. And then it's taken away as he tried to find Dixon. Back out top, James Musa. They send flighted ball in for Herrera. A half a step too far. And St. Louis comes out all cylinders.
40 seconds in. One touch to the left back. Mitch Lurie sends it long. The big ball immediately looking for Urban Herrera. Keeps it, holds it up. They get it over. Now, if there's a late arriving right back, I think that ball surprised Richard Dixon, but that's a ball to run onto and hit first time.
And it happened so quickly. That was a long run for the overlapping backs to get upfield.
Bang, bang from the original opening center off.
Loved it. Now throw in for San Antonio. Left sideline, immediately knocked away, again at the feet of Herrera. Drops it back looking for Dixon, but that goes off him out of play, and San Antonio will get it back. The air is thick tonight. Again, it's in the low 80s. We've been here where it's been hotter, but we've not been here where it's been more humid. We'll keep an eye and see how the players deal with the humidity. It should be okay tonight.
Pretty much been playing during the heat and humidity of this entire past week. Granted, much earlier in the morning, Bob, but still they feel the effects of it.
Musa had it for a moment, lost it in midfield, and the pressure from Herrera. He is everywhere to open this game. They had to send it all the way back to Carboni.
Well, he made that last defender play, and that's the key. As we mentioned, Irvin Herrera will be absent for the next 2 games, first of which is next Wednesday against the visiting OKC Energy team, and then at Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati, Monday, September 5th. So Thompson and Herrera will miss those games.
Plumhoff wins the ball in the midfield. They'll restart it. Mitch Lurie approaches.
That was a brief look at Taylor Morgan. He assisted on the lone goal of the game. The player we featured at the outset, Rafael Castillo. That was their most recent win when they beat Seattle last weekend.
Swings it left. Plumhoff again. We'll be keeping a great eye on him, this new addition. He curls through, finds Musa, chips it to the right side, looks for an open man, a quick shot over the crossbar. Just over the crossbar.
James Musa couldn't quite get the handle on this, Bob. Jordan Roberts again comes in off the flank. He's going to lay it off sideways for Musa. Now, Musa couldn't quite get control of this. He wanted to put this on the ground. He tried to put it on the ground to Plumhoff. He could hit that first time. He hit it first time nonetheless. Hits it wide, but that's one of the reasons he's in the first 11. Get behind the defense on the angle and have a go.
Just over the crossbar. Plumhoff from Musa and Roberts creating that opportunity. Now Cardoni back through the midfield. Going down hard was Lurie trying to make a play, and shoving a man in the back to slow things down was Chad Bond, as they had numbers.
Yeah, and they better be careful. Chad Bond has to be careful. Chad Bond, A.J. Cochran, and Sam Fink. 1 yellow for them. They miss the next game. You do not need to miss players at this time of the year, in particular 3 players like that from your first 11.
Castillo, about 12 yards off the corner of the penalty area. Dangerous spot. Thompson sets up his defense.
Yeah, Castillo, he's 36. Bob played for Los Millonarios, famous club team in Colombia.
Left foot curled on. Herrera knocks it away. Actually, it was Herrera who goes on the receiving end, and here comes Jordan Roberts, flying up the left side. Curls one back through the middle. Has a man just behind him. Dixon keeps it. Dixon a shot. Oh, what a save! Still loose and finally cleared out. It'll be a corner kick. Dixon was robbed by Cardoni.
But that is realizing the urgency of the situation with direct, impactful offense. What do we talk about? The fact that Jordan Roberts has to be involved. This ball clipped across the penalty area. Plumhoff almost handled it, leaves it for Richard Dixon. Wow. Cardoni comes out to meet it, makes the save.
Corner kick, far side, header, Musa! They score! They scored, and Herrera get it? Musa with the header.
He's whistling up. Referee whistling up that either James Musa pushed off. Evidently, the county policeman did not get the proper memo to the referee in the middle.
You got to go SWAT.
So here's the corner kick from Chad Bond all the way to the opposite post. There was a foul inside the penalty area, right inside the 6, between Herrera, who flicked out on a glancing blow from James Musa, and evidently while the ball was in the air, Herrera collided with the goalkeeper, Cardoni.
You're a gentleman trying to explain that as the possible call. I, on the other hand, will just move on. A little more passive-aggressive. St. Louis, though, really buzzing here as we get into the 6th minute.
Yeah, and in particular on this left flank, Jordan Roberts, who, as we've mentioned, Bob, can he bring that same urgency to the first 11 that he does coming out late in the games? So far, he has done just that.
Salazar wanted to go up the left side, hemmed in there, and has to curl it back. Swings it back for Pico Brennan. Brennan with Gunderson. Gunderson turns to midfield. Marked up by Roberts. And they curl it back again to Brennan. He'll switch fields right to left. McBride. Cochran. Going to come back through the middle. Salazar gave it up back to McBride.
Yeah, there is no place for San Antonio to play to get it out of their backfield. St. Louis FC has moved up to the halfway line. Every one of the San Antonio players, forwards and midfielders, has their back to a defender. It's very difficult to get out of the back that way.
Throw in for Plumhoff. He controls it, gets to the corner, curls one into the penalty area. Loose in front, but nobody could run on. And now cleared out by Cardoni. But not under control, recovered by Lurie for St. Louis. Now ahead to Roberts again. Flies to the left corner, turns and faces, draws a triple team. Sends it back out for Bond. Couldn't control it. Now Chad gets it back. Out through the middle. Sam Fink will control.
Good choice by Bond to change it, play the open man. You redistribute and get in.
Dixon tried one on the ground. That was foiled. Curls to the corner looking for Plumhoff. And it's knocked away out of bounds. San Antonio will get it back.
And you can see by the fact that Jordan Roberts and Jason Plumhoff as well has been active on the right flank, but Roberts really on this left flank, making so many things happen just by the fact that, am I going to run at people? Am I going to keep it, hold it up, wait for somebody to join? But when he's so unpredictable on the flank, that's really troublesome to any defense.
Well, along with their offensive capabilities, he and Plumhoff have hemmed in the advancing San Antonio players, so their defensive responsibilities have been at a high level so far.
And the players on the flank, not just the wide backs, the wide midfield, you've got to play both ways. Wide backs, midfielders have to be penalty area to penalty area. Wide backs have to be corner flag to corner flag.
Throw in left sideline. They get it in. Brennan knocked away by the defense. They'll throw it in again. Left side. San Antonio trying to get some offense going. The forwards roughed up a little bit, but lost it out of bounds, and St. Louis will get it.
San Antonio, they really put themselves back into the race, Bob. They beat Arizona United the 17th of August, beat them 3-2, and as I just referenced a moment ago, they beat Seattle last weekend 1-0. Castillo getting the goal from Taylor Morgan.
Dixon roughed up, but a slide tackle gets it back for Musa. Through the middle, Ambersley has a man to run on. It's Plumhoff on a long run. Roberts was mirroring him up the left sideline. Those two were flying up each of the sidelines, and they were going to make something happen. Just tipped away at the last minute.
Good work by Mike Ambersley. Has his back to play, receives, turns, plays it in behind everyone to the overlapping Jason Plumhoff. Nice work by Ambersley. Came back just deep enough to make it possible. There he receives, puts over the top of that last defender. That is number 4, Sam McBride. Plumhoff can run onto it. Now the next time, if Mike can put that ball on the ground and really make it extreme, almost to the corner flag arc, so Plumhoff can run onto it.
St. Louis will get the ball back. Dixon will throw it in. Up in the offensive third, off the right sideline. Glad you're with us.
Denny Long Field, Marshall Wireless Stadium, Worldwide Technology Soccer Park.
Live on TV, and of course here in St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. Proud of all of our sponsors, including Walter No Florist, your personal florist since 1983. Family owned and operated. Order online today at WKF.com. There's the throw in. It's still loose, nobody in control in the penalty area. A body goes down. Oh, they play on. Oh, they play on as a body was shoved to the ground in the penalty area.
Urban Herrera again being very active in the penalty area. That comes under his job description, probably number 1, be active in the penalty area.
Taylor Morgan first touch, tried a nifty pass moving forward, looking for Taiu.
He's very dangerous. That's a good ball.
Well, he's got a big body
Taylor
too.
Morgan is a big man, and those are the two players who combined to win the game against Seattle. Nice job by Taylor Morgan. Dribbles at the defense, waits for Taiu, try to play it on the ground behind the defenders.
Back through the middle, St. Louis. Bond hemmed in, had his pocket picked. 4-on-4 to the penalty area. Oh, curls and scores! What a diabolical shot! How did he lift that over his shoulder, the defender's shoulder, and into the upper left-hand corner? What a goal!
This is exactly what St. Louis FC was trying to guard against. And so far, they've been bringing the game to the opposition. Here's the problem. You lose the ball coming out of your own backfield. and against any team anywhere in the world, in this league, wherever, you give it away, you're going to pay the price. And number 6, Sebastian Terrier, he clips it in over the head of Ryan Thompson, and the home side is forced to equalize and chase the game.
Into the 13th minute now, and after dominating the first 12 minutes, you give up a goal, you lose a ball, had it stolen, and then a man goes down defensively, and a pro like Terrier is going to make you pay, and he did. That was a great goal.
That's Sebastian Terrier, and that is his first goal of the year. This all stems from losing the ball coming out of your own backfield. Clips it over the top of Ryan Thompson, who was going forward to try to meet the offensive player, who Terrier seemingly was going to dribble into the penalty area. Good finishing. Now, a competent professional team, which St. Louis FC is, there's no concerns about this. It's a 1-0 lead. So be it.
Plumhoff sends one onto the feet of Herrera. He tries to roll it through. Another diving stab by Cardoni. Oh my goodness, he's robbed St. Louis of 2 goals.
Matt Cardoni comes off his goal line again. This ball sent over the top of that last defender, Biko Brennan. There's Irvin Herrera. Didn't quite get a foot to it. Nonetheless, that ball could have rolled anywhere. Nice ball sent into Herrera.
Now it's Roberts, beats one man, curls one through, has Ambersley back through the middle, and he couldn't connect. Oh, what a cross by Ambersley. Stolen away again in the penalty area. Bodies fly. Here comes Dixon. Steps through, knocked off the defender and out of play.
Good work by Richard Dixon. Didn't get it over, but he accomplished the second aspect of his job. You don't get it over, win a corner kick. He did the latter. But again, Mike Ambersley tucks in, waits for that ball to be played to him on the ground, which Roberts does. He knifes it across the goal mouth. Very nicely done. Everything is there except the equalizing goal right now.
Corner kick out of the right corner. St. Louis up near the top of the penalty area. Mitch Laurie doing the honors out of the right corner. Wants to get it set up and see what play is on. 2 St. Louis players up at the arc. See if they run on. Laurie's left-footed shot through the middle, headed away. They look to settle. Ambersley gets it back to Laurie on the right side. Curls one back in again. Oh, they climbed right up the man's back, and they play on. Now it's Roberts. Roberts, a little step over. Hammered as he goes into the corner. They get into the middle. Musa sends one through. Looking to turn is Ambersley. Back for Roberts. Chips one up top. Looking for a header. No. It's settled. Turn. Shot. Oh, what a save. Oh, Cardoni has robbed St. Louis again. And it goes over to the end line. Oh, my. 3 goals robbed by the backup keeper for San Antonio. Take a look at what happened previously.
Well, here's Biko Brennan defending. He's going to leap for this head ball against A.J. Cochran, and then Chad Bond gets involved. Now, unless FIFA has changed the law where you can climb on the back of an offensive player and push him over in the process, that's a penalty.
A whistle as it went out. That'll give it back to the keeper. So St. Louis continues to buzz even after the mistake they made to give up a goal. They continue to challenge offensively.
Sam Fink comes up to try to get involved in a corner kick. He's fouled in the penalty area by Biko Brennan. But we continue to play on, still looking for that equalizer.
Cardoni has been brilliant early, Bill.
He has clearly been their man on defense. And Bob, how many times have we said it? A good defense. Everybody talks about the back four. It's the goalkeeper as well. The goalkeeper's involved in a good defense.
Well, he's been challenged early and often and has not only what I would call him good saves, I think he's robbed St. Louis at least 3 times.
And he steps in for Josh Ford. Josh Ford, who got hurt in the warm-up in their most recent game. Wonderful ball sent in again by Jordan Roberts. Everybody tries to get involved in this. A.J. Cochran receives, turns, and Cardone, he saw that really late. I mean, that came through a maze of players.
Yeah, he was completely screened out, and at the last second, he shot that left hand out. Amazing save.
He's a local player. He was born in San Antonio, just 23 years of age. He played in the NASL for the San Antonio Scorpions in 2015, signed with this club in February of 2016. Went to Trinity University, likewise, down there in San Antonio.
The San Antonio de Bejar native sends that through.
And so many of these teams we talk about, Bob, have come in this year, have old NASL roots. This team, no exception. The San Antonio Thunder, for whom Bobby Moore played, England's captain in 1966.
There's Roberts. He got it from Herrera, has a look. Oh, and a defender got a foot on it at the last second. Boy, this game is getting physical.
And that's where Roberts is very gifted. And that's what he did for years in college at Quincy. On the flank, dribble in on the angle, and have a go. And he's very comfortable doing that. Here is number 23, Jordan Roberts, just outside the penalty area. Comes in on the angle, in towards the field. That shot blocked by the last defender, but good work nonetheless, coming in off the flank by Jordan Roberts.
St. Louis-based Worldwide Technology recognized as one of the 100 best places to work 5 years in a row. Worldwide Technology, we're at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park in Fenton, Missouri. Nice play. Cochran and Lurie get it sent forward.
Referee Jose Lara says they were over and back. St. Louis FC was initially in an offside position, came back on. That's that call. 19th minute, plenty of offense, Bob.
If you can't,
just lacking the equalizer.
If you can't get enough soccer, and I know most of you can't, every Friday night, Big 550, KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, 7 to 8 p.m. Great interviews from home and around the league. It's KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, Friday, 7 to 8.
And they'll be able to talk about this game as well as the next home game, which is coming up this coming Wednesday, the 31st of August, concluding the month against Oklahoma City Energy, who, by the way, entered tonight's competition. They're likewise very heavily involved in the playoffs. They're in 5th place right now.
Ambersley, great play to gain control and get it ahead to Herrera, but couldn't control. Morgan had it for a moment, finds Tayu, back with Castillo, and they'll send it back and reload, leading 1-0 here in the 20th minute.
Good work there by Miguel Salazar to get the ball off the feet of Castillo and keep the play moving. He's not letting the game stop at his feet. Number 28, Miguel Salazar.
Send it back again, coming up the left side. San Antonio adapting to the style play now. Tayu had it for a moment, was able to get it ahead. Curled one through, nicely done. Trying to barge in there was Rafael Castillo, but he ran into a wall of St. Louis defenders, and now Musa has it. Back with Lurie.
Castillo just about cut that with the outside of his left to get in really close to the tip of the penalty area.
Roberts and Musa, and they just misconnected and gave the ball back. They had a good two-man game going up the left sideline and just misconnection.
James wanted to find Jordan to let him run with the ball, and Jordan was already gone.
Roberts can absolutely fly. Musa heads the throw in back out of play. They'll do it again.
And he's so comfortable coming in off the flank, Bob, and that's where you could be so dangerous.
Musa's good wherever he plays, but I love him in the midfield, and he runs. He's everywhere. He's involved in everything.
He gets involved in every aspect of the offense.
There's one curled on and loose. They score. A miscommunication at the last moment.
But, Bob, it's whistled out for a handball against Frank Tayu.
Well, it did look like it was attached to his feet.
Boy, he is a big man, Frank Tayu. He gets the ball at his feet and runs at the goal. That's troublesome for any defender.
He shook off Fink and Thompson.
And here he is battling A.J. Cochran, who's a big man himself, well over 6 feet. They're battling against each other. The ball bounces up, played by Cochran, and he plays it off the hand of Frank Tayu. The referee, Jose Lara, saw just that.
See if we can get another look at exactly where he touched it.
This will perhaps be an even better view. That is exactly what transpired there. Good work by the referee. You saw that all the way. A.J. Cochran flipped it up, partially hit the outstretched left arm of Frank Taiu.
Physical play. Back to action. Ambersley goes down hard. St. Louis is going to get a corner kick out of it. Oh, no, excuse me. Going to be a foul there. Dead ball.
Dead ball. This will be sent in by Chad Bond.
So even better than a corner kick.
5 yards from being a corner kick. Keep it away from the goalkeeper and over the first defender. Get over the first defender, away from Cardoni to a late arriving defensive center back coming up to join the action.
St. Louis lines up more or less perpendicular to the goal line. Bond waits, surveys, drives it into the middle. Defense headed away, and I think that was Taiu back there, the big man, heading it away.
And that is excellent work by our crew. You will not get, unless you're here, you're not going to get a better view of that particular play.
But save the scoring opportunity. St. Louis will get it out of the right corner now. Lurie will try again. Drives it in through the middle. It's loose. It's on the ground. And they clear it out. Well, anytime it's down like that for more than a couple of seconds, anything can happen, but that time San Antonio was able to get it out of there.
Bob, it's almost inevitable. When a ball bounces once, twice, 3 times, and it's lying there, it's almost always in the back of the net.
It's like a grenade. It's going to go off.
Positively. And it's always going to be in favor of the offense. Somehow, some way, somebody gets on the end of it.
24th minute, 1-0 San Antonio. Look at Ambersley force the issue and over the end line.
Made that last defender play. Try to get out of the back was Max Gunderson, but Ambersley again, he's saying, I did the work. I chased that last defender. I played it off him. Referee Jose Alara does not see it that way.
Cardoni will look to clear this one, see where he wants to go with it. Got under it a little bit. Roberts overshot it. Nice play by Mitch Lurie to keep it in. Now it's Morgan. St. Louis continues to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, they're chasing every defender who's trying to get the ball to the backfield, making him play, making something happen.
Recovered. They're going to switch fields, but Dixon says, nope, not this time. Gives it up to Fink and Richard Dixon. Back to Sam Fink as they reorganize. He drives it. Herrera going to run it down, but can't catch that one as it goes out of play. G&W Meat and Bavarian Style Sausage Company, proud to be the official brat of St. Louis FC, celebrating over 50 years as a family-owned St. Louis tradition. You can't beat G&W Meat. Up the left sideline now for San Antonio. They have not been able to play any keep away, and they don't want to. They're still on the attack. Dixon in the back with Fink. Sam and A.J. Cochran. They'll try the left side again. Lurie is there, then back to Cochran. They put a little pressure on him, and he sent it a little further back than he wanted. Taylor Morgan had the pressure. Now Bond comes back to help out as St. Louis a little bit hemmed in themselves.
Yeah, you don't want to continue to try to attack from the depths of your own penalty area on a consistent basis.
Now Musa got involved and they clear it out of there, he and Herrera. Now they come up the left side with Roberts. Roberts has a man trailing, instead gets it in. Plumoff curls back, beats double team, takes a shove in the back, continues to play the ball, but it's going to go over the end line. Great work by Plumoff.
Had his back to play, receive, turn, tried to get it in. Terrier clips it out, corner kick.
Terrier got a piece of it, so now St. Louis gets the corner.
This will be sent in by Chad Bond. Various plays that St. Louis FC works on this particular corner kick scenario. It's the last thing they do, one of the last things they do in training sessions on Friday prior to a Saturday game.
Herrera in deep. They go to the far side, weak side, headed to the pitch, and then bounced up and Cardone was right there. He saw it the whole way.
Sam Fink, that last defender, up to join the attack on that corner kick. The deepest player, as a matter of fact, at the opposite post. Frank Taiu battling with A.J. Cochran. A.J. Cochran.
Two big men.
Oh, man. He's played 2,160 minutes, Bob. That translates to every minute of all 24 games. That is workmanlike.
Now a long, high-flighted ball, right to left diagonally. Roberts runs it down. Jordan turns it back to the middle. Still on his boot, and then he tried to swing it to the right side looking for Plumoff, but it sort of slipped off the outside of his foot. Now we got a
And that'll be a
foul.
yellow card, and as I mentioned a moment ago, Sam Fink gets a yellow. He will not play in the next game. Yeah, he was coming into the game. It's Sam Fink, A.J. Cochran, and Chad Bond. And that's Frank Taiu. I think Sam realized full well, if this guy gets in behind me,
the big man.
there's no stopping him. Clearly a foul by Sam. He takes down number 24, Frank Taiu, talented Cameroonian.
I don't think Fink was trying to trip him, but he had to put the body on him so tight they just got tangled
Yeah,
up.
and
But it's a foul.
Yeah, no question. And the referee, Jose Lara, said to your hand, you grabbed him around the midsection, brought him down. You're getting a yellow.
1-0 San Antonio. 29th minute, sent in. Dixon boots it away. He didn't want to play around with that dangerous ball into the penalty area. Worldwide Technology, proud supporter of St. Louis FC. Worldwide Technology understands that with the right culture and teamwork, great things happen. We need some great things to happen tonight here for St. Louis FC on the home pitch. Right to left, tried to get one across to the top of the penalty area. Broken up by Lurie and Cochran. Now Taiu brings it down to his feet, spins on his man at the goal line and knocked away. They'll get a corner kick.
Nice turn by Frank Taiu in a very tight space. Didn't get it over, Bob, but the next best thing, he won a corner.
I believe that's Castillo on the corner kick. Out of the left corner. San Antonio lines up the top of the penalty area. Now they break for the goal in the air. A header, it's loose. Booted down on the ground and rolls harmlessly to Ryan Thompson.
And a handball was set up by
handball.
Sam McBride. He came up to join. Frank Taiu, we've seen glimpses of him in various indoor leagues, MASL most recently. Played futsal for the U.S. national team.
Thompson drives it across midfield. Pounded back across center line. Cochran, nice pass. Gets it through and he finds Herrera. Roberts for Herrera, man on his back. Left-footed shot, another save. A diving save by Cardone. Robs another St. Louis goal attempt. Wow.
Again,
great
work. Yes, it was,
As
Bob.
good as the save was, the pass to get to Herrera was beautiful.
The pass from Jordan Roberts on the ground, receives, turns, looks up, right on the ground, exactly where you want it, into your stride. But Cardone again comes off his goal line, makes himself as large as possible, well outside the 6. He's the man who has kept this game at 1-0 for his visiting team, San Antonio.
Throw in all the way into the area, and there's that man again. Cardone comes out.
Cardone again. There he is with his arms outstretched. Makes his save with that left arm outstretched. Good work by Jordan Roberts yet again one more time to find that last offensive player. This time was Irvin Herrera. The pass beat 2 defenders. It's on the ground, it's behind them, and Herrera timed his run perfectly.
Bill, certainly in the 32nd minute, down 1-0, you're disappointed. But the club, save for one mistake, has played well.
Positively, and it's a rare giveaway coming out of their own backfield. They did that earlier in the year on a couple of different occasions. But as I mentioned at the time when it happened, that ball was given away just beyond the tip of the penalty area arc, and you're going to pay for that against any team.
Bond looks to snap a header forward. That was broken up. Man goes down. That's going to go against St. Louis and Herrera.
It's a foul by Irvin Herrera. Just trying to do anything to make something happen. Fouling Miguel Salazar. Irvin Herrera is going to leave at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, Bob. He's playing for El Salvador against Mexico in El Salvador the 2nd of September. Then against Canada in Vancouver on the 6th of September as he represents his country in World Cup qualification for the 2018 World Cup.
He's been marvelous to watch this summer.
Comes into the game with 11 goals and 3 assists.
Laurie draws 2 defenders, or 2 offensive players, and has to get it back to Cochran. Now to Fink, left to right, and up the sideline, drives it. He was looking for Herrera, couldn't get it there. Ambersley can't get there either, and now Biko Brennan takes over. Brennan to the right side, and Gunderson lobs one forward. Pretty pass, picked out of the air cleanly as they move forward, looking for an opening. Terrier, and now a long drive by St. Louis, but Herrera will never get there in time, and Cardoni had it played well.
It was the idea by Herrera. He timed his run right. He was not offside. Chad Bond sent it over the top of the last 2 defenders. Just a bit too direct.
Back through the middle they go. Morgan. Back with Brennan. Biko Brennan sends it forward. Tried to find his big man, Tayu, but that was broken up by Cochran. 2 heavyweights going at it there. Back with Brennan, and he'll send it back to his keeper. Walter No Florist, your personal florist, family owned and operated since 1983. Order online today at WKF.com. In the back, San Antonio in control. Castillo comes all the way back to get it.
Yeah, they come in, Bob, with 31 points. They're in 8th place right now. San Antonio FC.
They drive it forward again, and it falls as Gunderson, the overlapping player, St. Louis man. Laurie goes down, send it up top into the penalty area. Tayu steps through, and he was forced out of there by Cochran and Musa. Good defensive work as they were down a man. Now tried to send one back in, can't control. A blistering shot, skips up on Thompson, and he makes the play.
Good work by St. Louis FC there to defend against a very difficult offensive weapon, Frank Tayu. Good work getting forward by Max Gunderson. Beats that last defender, gets him behind. As deep as he is, he knocks it back that deep. There's always going to be someone available there. It's Tayu, draws 1, 2, 3 defenders. However, when you got pressure, cover, balance in the person of 3 different people, it's difficult to beat them on the dribble.
Now Fink for Dixon. Here comes Plumhoff. Plumhoff saw his man, tried to cross. Well defended. They have to clear it out, though, because of the pressure, and St. Louis will get the sideline throw in.
Plumhoff lost it momentarily, but he made that last defender play. Keep it on a throw-in.
On a dead run, and he saw Herrera. Now a blistering shot from midfield by Musa. Goes about 3 feet wide.
What a blast from James Musa as he enters tonight's game with 3 goals and 3 assists. Good work by Musa. Trying to catch Cardoni, perhaps off his goal line. Chad Bond looks up, just clips it sideways to the available midfield partner. It's number 14, James Musa. Receives, deadens it, shoots it just wide of that opposite post. Cardoni may have had it covered, but that ball was struck very nicely by Musa from distance.
Musa saw that Cardoni was cheating a little over to the other post, and he was going to Musa's left. He just missed it by about 3 feet from well outside. Now in the midfield, Dixon will run it down. Dixon with Bond. Under duress, back for Dixon, not a Fink. Fink surveys. Drives one, wants to have Herrera run under it, but a little too ambitious, and it goes to the keeper.
Now, if that big ball out of the backfield from Fink is played on a diagonal, as opposed to so direct. It's much easier to run onto. Yeah, Cardone coming off his goal line's got those balls covered.
Terrier comes in and that rolls through.
Yeah, that could be a dangerous ball. Good effort nonetheless by San Antonio. Terrier, the goal scorer, excuse me. This time just beyond the penalty area arc. Tried to play in to find number 12, Taylor Morgan.
Dixon and Herrera. Now back with Musa. They try to get it forward again. San Antonio's defensive responsibility is picked up a little bit last 10 minutes or so. Roberts are going to try and make him pay here. Curled around, booted out, and St. Louis will get it. On the throw in, Lurie. He and Musa. Musa sends one forward, has Ambersley on a dead run. Ambersley couldn't quite catch up, and it goes over the end line. Brilliant idea, great effort from Mike.
Nice idea by Musa to clip that ball into Ambersley. Just a bit offside. He almost salvaged it. It's the idea to get it in over the top of the defender, perhaps make a check so that Ambersley can run onto it.
Hey, Gene W. Meat and Bavarian Style Sausage Company, proud to be the official brat of St. Louis FC. 50 years as a family-owned business. You can't beat G&W Meat.
Well, Jim Hewer will tell us at halftime what's going on with the Galaxy Swope Park games. Swope Park comes in there in 9th place with 30 points. St. Louis FC in 12th place with 29 points. So that's how close it is, Bob, and you really delineated that nicely. One game, 3 points in one game can change the table again.
Half a dozen teams fighting for really one spot, and all have a legitimate shot at it. Bigo Brennan sends it back to his keeper, Cardone. St. Louis trying to put pressure on here in the 39th minute. 1-0 San Antonio. Lofted forward, Cochran battling with Taiu. Nice play.
Yeah, that's the kind of ball that A.J. Cochran's going to salivate over. Frank Taiu does not want a ball like that played to him. He wants it on the ground at his feet so he can receive and turn.
Some physical play. Taylor Morgan, I think, is tired of chasing Jordan Roberts and gave him a little push. That would be frustrating to try and keep up with Mr. Roberts.
The opposition almost always, Bob, has somebody on the flank who has speed and stamina to burn. And obviously, so far in this first half, it's been Jordan Roberts.
Through the middle, Ambersley comes back and makes a beautiful defensive play.
Tracks back, does one of the top front-running strikers. Mike Ambersley made that that offensive player trying to get forward play.
Now Castillo moves in. Rather, that was Alvarez. Alvarez making something happen. Has Castillo, turns, and Dixon picks his pocket. Oh, Richard Dixon, nicely done. St. Louis hemmed in, though, deep in their own end, and they knock it off to the offensive player and out of play.
Good work by Richard Dixon in a very tight space, almost backed up to his own penalty area arc, battling the team captain, Rafael Castillo. And like every other Colombian in the world, extremely good on the ball is Castillo, but he couldn't get the ball over that time. The Jamaican, Richard Dixon, made him play.
You mentioned Jim Hewer on the radio side on the Big 550 KTRS. He'll have activities on the radio side for you. A lot of conversation at halftime, and be sure to tune in to their show. And there's a foul in the back, and St. Louis will get it. Every Friday night, Big 550 KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, 7 to 8 p.m. Interviews with players and coaches, executives from all around the league and all around soccer. KTRS FC Soccer Weekly every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m.
There's a couple other games taking place tonight. The Swope Park Rangers are hosting the LA Galaxy, and right in front of St. Louis FC, Arizona United is hosting the Real Monarchs. So that game to be played a little bit later. It's being played in Arizona. But all these teams, Bob, they're all bunched up 30, 30, 29, 29, 31. Everything can change so dramatically as it just did last week with San Antonio. They got 6 points. They're right back in the thick of it. They're in 8th place entering tonight's competition.
Now, am I thinking right? As we scoreboard watch, We want Arizona and Real to tie, don't we?
There you go. Exactly. You don't want teams behind you getting 3 points. Not right now. Dale Schilly earlier in the year, he had mentioned that. It's not so much the people in front of you. It's the people you have to watch that are behind you. Be careful of them gaining.
In the midfield. Oh, brilliant, courageous play by Cochran to give up the body and make a play and take it out of the midfield.
Good tackle by A.J. Cochran, because the goal scorer, number 6, Sebastian Touriere, he was off to the races there.
Musa and Laurie. Mitch drives it up the sideline. He was looking for Ambersley, who was on the run. Knocked away by a defender. St. Louis gets it right back. Here's Musa. Across midfield with Ambersley. First touchback for Laurie. Now to Musa. James hemmed in. Gives it back to Laurie on the left sideline. Right at the center stripe with Musa. Side of the foot over to Roberts. Roberts on the run, as usual. Curls back now. Gives it up to Musa on the left side. Musa, one touch. Herrera pushed in the back. Looks to run it down. They curl it out. It'll be a throw in from the corner for St. Louis. Musa.
St. Louis FC at least keeps it on the throw. This is one of the things that St. Louis FC, again, I mentioned on Friday, they work on pieces like this. James Musa, the master of the long throw.
Herrera was going to come out and get it, but Musa's going to send it in the penalty area from the sideline. And there it is, lofted in the air and coming out, seeing it all the way. Matt Cardone, the keeper, once again doing a nice job.
Immediately seeing that develop, came off his goal line in the thick of the penalty area, in the midst of everyone who would come forward for that throw.
44th minute, 1-0 San Antonio. Gunderson curls one to the middle. Richard Dixon foils that play. Musa gets it ahead with Ambersley. Ambersley had a little give and go, but decided to keep it. Wanted to find Herrera, but that was read nicely and broken up. Morgan has it. Morgan didn't see Herrera coming from behind. He steals it back. Sends it right to Dixon. Here comes St. Louis. Something's buzzing. Ambersley went for a head to flick it to the wing, and it was broken up. Here comes Chad Bond to get it back again, however. Herrera was beaten to the ball. Musa runs it down. Musa near the center circle. James curls back. Finds Herrera, swings it left. He has Roberts on the run, side of the penalty area. Jordan Roberts toward the end line. Curls one through a shot. Oh, and it's just knocked away by the defense. And a corner kick coming for St. Louis.
Good defending by Sam McBride and wonderful work by St. Louis FC from the center part of midfield to the right side, eventually getting over to the left to Jordan Roberts. He looks up. You know he's going to take someone on. Instead, this time lays it across the goal mouth. McBride was there to literally clip it away inside the 6.
Out of the corner. Header sent out of there by the big man, Tayu. Plumoff shanked it a bit, lost it, cleared back to midfield. Half will end momentarily. Coming way off his line is Thompson. Drives it forward, trying to get a miracle goal late, but they lose it. Now it's 4-on-2. When will the horn go? Dixon can't break it up. Here comes Castillo, a shot. They score! St. Louis wanted the late miracle goal, but give it away in midfield, and the miracle goes to the visitors.
Oh my, that is an absolute nightmare to allow that to happen at the death of the first half. It unfortunately bounces off Richard Dixon directly to the feet of Castillo, over the top of Ryan Thompson into the opposite side netting. That is absolutely an absolute total breakdown in the back to allow that to happen so late in the first half after all the work you've done.
From about 20 yards out, he lofted it over, and that's the end of the half. And while St. Louis buzzed and attacked, put shot after shot on goal, they look up at the scoreboard and unbelievably see they're down 2-0. The red-hot San Antonio FC club continues to roll.
And the ball bounces directly to the foot of Rafael Castillo, the last person on San Antonio you want with the ball at his feet in the absolute dying moments of the first half. That is an absolute horrible backbreaker for St. Louis FC.
Well, interim coach Tim Leonard right there, we'll see if he can regroup the troops who really came out with a marvelous effort. But you got to credit San Antonio. Cardone, brilliant, and St. Louis makes two mistakes, and both of them end up in the back of the net behind Ryan Thompson. We'll break for halftime. Jim Hewer on the radio side. Stay with us. This is St. Louis FC Soccer.
Seconds to go. I'll go right around the cone. Yep. Boy, that's super. Good man. Here we go. Yep. Get there. Oh, good effort. Good effort. So grew up here in St. Louis. You know, I had made an interesting decision coming out of high school. I could have gone to college, play with, guys who went on to play for SLU, Indiana, guys who became All-Americans, guys who became, heroes in our country, Brian McBride's of the world, Mark Santel's, all these guys. Decided to go to try Europe, and it was at a time when it wasn't, it was a hard thing to do. There weren't a whole lot. You weren't well received. And I took a risk. Decided to go to Belgium. Looked up a guy who was a hero of mine, a goalkeeper. He just retired the year before. He was the best goalkeeper in the world at the time when he played. A guy named Jean-Marie Pfaff. And I flew in and put my stuff in a hotel room, like a cheap hotel. Got on the bus that was going to that part of town and asked the bus driver, hey, do you know what part of the area? Guys said, yeah, I know exactly what street he lives on. I'll tell you when to get off. And bus driver told me I'd get off at the street, walk down about a mile and a half. He had a big gate, big iron, 10-foot tall wrought iron fence around the property, and you ring the buzzer, and nobody really speaks English too much. His dad answered, who speaks no English, and passed it on to his wife, Carmen, and Carmen speaks a little, and I tried to explain to her as best I could, I need help. I'm an 18-year-old American. I'm good at what I do. I want to be here. I want to play. I want your husband to help me, basically. She came out, talked to me a little bit. He was sleeping, apparently. She went back in. Woke him up. He came out the door, he's a little groggy. He's kind of staring down the driveway at me. Not necessarily a happy camper. He comes walking down with Carmen. She translates a little bit. And credit to him, he's a great human being. As good of a player as he was, he's a better human being. And he invited me in for breakfast. It was early in the morning, 8:30, 9. And he talked, and I had breakfast with him and his 3 daughters and his wife and his dad. And he said, okay. And then he brought me out to the field. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to put up or shut up. And I got it done and did well. And he was surprised. He's like, holy cow, there's an American doing this, like at this level and this quality technically and stuff. And he said, yeah, I'll help you, no problem. So I stayed in his house. I lived in his house for a bunch of weeks. And, he took me around. And it's kind of akin to being a basketball player and walking up to Michael Jordan's house and going, can you help me? And him taking you around everywhere he goes. And you're like, you're with the Michael Jordan of goalkeeping. And so that started. Played there for St. Nicholas for a while. They took me to a tournament, like a U19 tournament. 4 games, played well, did well for myself. People were a little surprised, hey, there's an American. And then a couple years later, looked at Portugal, decided to look into Portugal. A guy named Dan Gaspar, and he was the coach of Sporting Lisbon at the time, the goalkeeping coach. And he saw me and said, hey, maybe you should come to Portugal and maybe you should look into this and let me help you, try to line some things up. And then 96 came around and MLS started and came back to MLS in that first year. And everybody was kind of positioned based on geography, where you grew up. So most of the St. Louis guys anyway ended up in Kansas City. Me, Billy Baumhoff, Matty McEwen, Mike Sorber. So we all ended up in Kansas City. And it was interesting because all those guys were on my Gallagher team. We all played on the same Gallagher team, and now we're, everybody's in MLS and stuff like that. Lasted a year. It wasn't a great experience, to be honest with you. It was a bad experience for me. So we tried in LA. There was a guy who coached at the time, Lothar Osiander, who was the head coach, and he had Campos, and he liked me a lot. There was, this idea that, hey, we got two of these kind of goalkeepers, one American, one Mexican, and they could both do things that are very similar. And so when Jorge was playing for the national team at the time, the thought was we can insert this guy and we're not going to lose anything. It's the same style. It's the same skill sets. And he ended up getting fired about 4 or 5 weeks later. And a guy named Octavio Zambrano came in and said no. And that was the end of it, really. That it was like mentally I kind of, spiraled out of control and couldn't recover from it.
When I was about 16, we went and played for Newcastle. We went and played in a tournament in Spain, and we played Real Madrid's youth academy and Barcelona's youth academy, and that was a really good experience. So,
probably making my debut for Swansea in the English Championship. That was the highlight of my career, I think.
I went to Arsenal, so I got to meet Arsene Wenger. I was training with the youth system there, with the youth team, Jack Wilshere. I think Coquelin was training there too, so that was one of my favorite memories.
When I debuted for the national team at home in Auckland, in front of my family, friends, it was a pretty big moment for me in my career.
When I made my debut for the national team, it was against Argentina. Playing with all those big players. I was surprised. It was unbelievable.
Probably scoring a goal against Orlando City in the USL at their place.
Probably has to be winning the national championship at Indiana in 2004. That was a great experience for me. And also winning a championship in Tampa Bay also is up there.
Winning the national championship with my under-17 Gallagher team, with all my buddies.
Got to go with the national championship. I won 2012 with Indiana.
Either my MLS debut or winning the national championship in college.
Probably winning the Conference USA championship with the University of Tulsa. It was a long, hard-fought season, worked toward a common goal, and we achieved it.
My freshman year of college, we made the conference final, and I scored the winning goal in like the 85th minute. Yeah, just took it from 18 to 18, hit it side net.
It's probably finding out that I got a scholarship, an academic scholarship at Pro Soccer to come to the U.S. in 2008.
Had a few good memories with Missouri State winning the conference 3 out of 4 years.
I would say winning the state championship here in St. Louis for my high school, Chaminade.
Around you, you get 4 goals in 250 minutes. Blackwood lays it off. Rooney fires! Oh, he scored! Oh, what a finish! And Luke Rooney pulls one back before halftime.
An extremely tough place to play there at Switchback Stadium. Bird with the blast and the shot. It hits the back of the net. Oh, the one-timer. And the shot from Bird gives RGV FC the 4-goal lead here in the 82nd minute.
Sent in by Charleston. Moose was able to clear for the moment. Shot on net and into the back of the net from distance. Number 7, Obi Woodbine. Unbelievable blast to end the first half.
What an absolute cannon.
Ross finds his man inside the box briefly. Here's a shot from the outside. And what a goal to open up for OKC. Is that Pitter that let that one go from the outside? I believe that it is. And Oklahoma City strikes here early.
See if they can hold on that. Here's Tommy Thompson, good run, able to volley it in. Tommy Thompson, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches in the net. Beautiful, Tommy Thompson. Are you kidding me? That's the 3rd goal.
Back at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park in St. Louis, Bob Ramsey, Bill McDermott, and the opposite of what St. Louis fans had hoped for, Bill. You came out charging. You wanted that. You looked to be dynamic offensively. You did that. But Red Hot San Antonio just waited for you to make a mistake, and you made two.
You made two, and they capitalized brilliantly on both. Second of which, the ball falls directly to the feet of Rafael Castillo. You're trying to make things happen. You get caught short-handed in the back, but it is unforgivable to give up that goal at the last stages of the first half. So now you're really chasing the game. You're down by two.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. And St. Louis had some great opportunities.
Off this corner kick, initially from Chad Bond to the far player James Musa to Herrera, but he's whistled to have touched and pushed the goalkeeper while the ball was being flighted, so that goal was indeed nullified. Still standing at 0-0, excuse me. Then in the 12th minute, Sebastian Turriere, and this is the unkindest cut of all, chips the goalkeeper, beats Ryan Thompson, and scores his first goal of the year. Then Frank Tayu just about runs onto this, does just that, puts it in the back, but A.J. Cochran tipped it off his outstretched arm. Then Irvin Herrera, again the goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni, who has been magnificent is the word for it in the first half for visiting San Antonio. Now here at the absolute death of the first half, Rafael Castillo clips it over the top of Ryan Thompson, and now you're down by two at the halftime interval.
Well, you take a look at some of those opportunities missed, and absolutely give Cardoni credit.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But you're so frustrated, you think maybe you're playing as good as you can play, as well as you can play, based on how this season has gone, yet two small errors, boom, they make you pay.
Well, the first one in particular, when you're trying to get out of your own backfield and give it away, you're going to pay for that. And then I know everybody was up, advance, trying to get back in the game, equalize at 45, but then they give it away, have to chase back, and then unforgivably, it's 2-0 in halftime. But the offense had been clicking. They were doing some very nice things on offense, St. Louis FC. Getting balls across from the right and left flanks, Jordan Roberts in particular, Irvin Herrera, again, Mike Ambersley doing the work, but they just can't capitalize on these easy chances that are going across and into the penalty area.
You see what interim coach Tim Leonard's lineup is doing. It's working. Mistakes happen. You don't excuse them, but you understand it's part of the game. Now, what do you tell your squad at halftime is you got to come out with your playoff lives on the line.
And you'll make some changes at halftime, probably to bring on a player like, a young player like Alex Morel, who can change the game because of his youthful enthusiasm. Perhaps Patrick Duty, and that's indeed what's going to happen, number 22. Patrick Duty, a real crowd favorite here for St. Louis FC. From the Chicago Fire, a lone player. He's played for the Fire in their youth system. He had been playing at midfield until he got to Indiana, where he became a left back. He's comfortable in either position, he told me, but he's very good with his left foot. Gets balls in, services them nicely, runs at defenders. So perhaps Duty can add something to this team to get them back into this game and do it early. We have to repeat it again, Bob, because the interim head coach, Tim Leonard, told me himself. This, for all intents and purposes, is indeed a do-or-die situation.
Yeah, and you feel bad for a real stalwart, a stud like A.J. Cochran who's had a little bit of a nightmare. You know, Bond stumbled once, Cochran went down once, and then got beat another time. And it's one of those nights that will end up, unless you can turn it around in this second half, be a nightmare.
It really could be, and as that second goal, that is really a backbreaker. Rafael Castillo, the man to get that ball on the ground at his feet. He just clipped it over the top of the goalkeeper, Ryan Thompson. Superbly done by the veteran from Colombia, their team captain.
So San Antonio will move right to left. Maybe St. Louis is on the lucky end of the pitch. Got to get something going. We've seen them do some great things late in games, sometimes too little too late. But St. Louis never stops playing.
They do not. The intensity is realized by everyone on this team. They know what they have to do. You asked me this earlier in the first half, Bob, and Tim Leonard said the key word for everybody here, coaching staff, players, everybody, is responsibility. It is our responsibility to get back into this playoff race.
Well, Boucher's in the game as well. Now some pressure has forced Cardone to give the ball away. Here comes Plumhoff, right corner, one man to beat. Second man comes over, he finds Dixon open. Back to Plumhoff. Wanted to have a little go for it for Jacob Boucher, who was going to run onto it and couldn't control it over the end line.
So Boucher comes on for James Musa. And number 22, Patrick Duty, comes on for Mitch Lurie. There's the former Indiana player, Jacob Boucher, as is Patrick Duty. Both played for the Hoosiers, for Todd Yeagley. Still some discrepancy, Bob. I checked at halftime with reference to what we had talked about, Sam Fink possibly being out for the next game. Not certain of the number of yellow cards Sam has received. We're going to try to check on it and give you some final information before the second half ends.
Boy, Plumhoff battled physically to get control of the ball. Now they send it into the right corner. Dixon tries to run it down. Will it check up? No. So very aggressive coming up the right flank. A couple of times in a row, but nothing to show for it.
So Ambersley and Herrera stay on top in the 4-4-2 formation. Chad Bond, maybe he'll get a little more advanced. Let Jacob Boucher lie a bit deeper inside that center circle. The two central midfielders.
Cardone across midfield. St. Louis, nice play. Plumhoff, he's had a nice debut.
He kept that ball alive right there to Herrera.
Now Dixon, they try to hem him in. He splits the D, does it nicely. Tipped away on the pass, but he gets it back. And St. Louis is going to get it back. I think a handball.
Richard Dixon, yes, a handball whistled up. Richard Dixon again coming from that right back position, advancing with the ball on the ground at his feet on the dribble. Just trying to do something to contribute to the offense. Talented Jamaican coming from that right back position.
Chad Bond will restart this one. Drives it right to left, coming out, punching it out of double fist. It's Cardone.
Boy, that's excellent goalkeeping yet one more time.
Yeah, he saw
Matt
something
Cardone.
dangerous developing, didn't he?
Possibly immediately.
Ooh, tough offside call. Fans, you hear them groaning. They didn't care for that call.
Whistle up against number 15, Mike Ambersley, who continues to do the running. He's tireless. He works nonstop with and, more importantly, without the ball. Cardone coming off his goal line, making no attempt, as he shouldn't have, to catch that ball. Punched it clear. And I do mean clear, well outside of his penalty area.
St. Louis throws it in far sideline. Almost stolen away, and it is, and now it turning it over. San Antonio keeps the possession. Looking for Tayu. Couldn't control it. Back to Bond, little back heel. Creates some space. Duty sends it forward. Hey, Walter No Florist, your personal florist since 1983. Family owned and operated. Order online today at WKF.com.
So into the 50th minute. San Antonio trying to send it long. They do so on occasion, either looking for Alvarez or usually for Frank Tayu.
Perrier headed up top. Then they find Alvarez. Tried to clip one over the top. He wanted his big man, Tayu, but...
He wanted to.
Yeah.
He tried to play it to either to him so he could chest it and knock it right back to him on a return ball. Nicely thought out by Castillo.
but it bounces harmlessly into Thompson. Well, he really distributes it well and deep, doesn't he?
Yeah, in this particular game, especially, Bob, just get it forward as quickly as possible.
Down 2-0 in the 51st minute. Fink for St. Louis to the right side, Dixon. Dixon for Plumhoff. Nice back heel for Ambersley's run off the ball. Excellent play in the back. Salazar came back to help out. They get it ahead. Tayu beats a man. It's Bond, or rather, it's Fink. Crosses over into the area. Shot, curls it. Oh, that was nasty over the top of the crossbar. Bond has gone down a couple of times. They're just bouncing off Tayu.
Frank Tayu, this time from the left sideline, beats Fink on the dribble.
I said Bond, it was Fink, excuse me. Bond has gone down. Fink's gone down. Cochran's gone down. This guy's like Superman out there.
He is the man for them, getting forward anywhere in and around that penalty area. What a presence to play the ball into.
Bond and Duty to send it forward, lost it. Here they come again. Castillo has his man, Tayu, but coming up from behind to knock it away.
Yeah, nice
Roberts.
work. But yeah, nice work by that second half change, Patrick Duty. He knows. He watched the first 45 minutes.
Yep.
He knows what's going on.
Plumhoff in a double team, and he wins the ball. Now in a quadruple team, they pushed him down, and what battling going on tonight. Plumhoff is very impressive.
Kept the ball alive just by battling.
This time it was deflected off of him, out of play. They'll get it back. Greg Cochran to throw it in. We haven't called his name much tonight. In fact, I think that's his first touch. In the back, Sam Fink, restart. St. Louis trails 2-0, 53rd minute. Drives one forward, looking for Ambersley. Couldn't get it there. Now he does. Wants Plumhoff. And whistled down.
Number 28, Jason Plumhoff. We've seen him in St. Louis, Bob. He played in the A-10 for LaSalle. Matter of fact, in 2013, he was the A-10 Offensive Player of the Year. Spartan Rosenheim, Germany. Came up in the Bayern Munich youth system, did number 28, Jason Plumhoff.
That pedigree does not surprise me.
I don't know about you if I'm a soccer player. I like the name Bayern Munich attached to my resume.
Yeah. I don't know about LaSalle, but Bayern Munich, yes.
That's a definite.
Well, dead ball restart. Here we go. Another opportunity for San Antonio.
Yep, Frank Tayu again makes this play possible, battling A.J. Cochran.
Carlos Alvarez out there with Castillo. Referee a little over officious, perhaps. Little dummy run. Alvarez drives one high and deep, and just over the crossbar, tipped by Thompson. An inch either way, and that might be a goal, Bill. That was a brilliant go at it.
Carlos Alvarez clips this ball into the air. I thought this had no chance of being dangerous in any capacity. However,
I think
Ryan
that's it.
Thompson, he had to make that save. That ball is going in otherwise.
From 50 yards.
Wow. He made absolutely something out of totally nothing there, did number 10, Carlos Alvarez. Nicely flighted.
And now the corner kick, right corner. Driven on, in the air, headed, still up, and out, and St. Louis will get it back. St. Louis-based Worldwide Technology, recognized by Fortune magazine as one of the 100 best places to work 5 years in a row. Our friends at Worldwide Technology.
Denny Long Field, Marshall Wireless Stadium, Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. After tonight, Bob, 5 games left for St. Louis FC, 2 of which are at home. Next Wednesday night against OKC Energy. They conclude their season September 17th against visiting Louisville City.
Cross-conference rivalry with Louisville.
They've had a superb season, Louisville City. They sit in second place with 47 points. New York Red Bulls have 53. They lead the Eastern Conference. For one reason and one reason alone, Bob. They've lost 3 games out of 24.
Little back heel, try to get Dixon on the overlap. Great idea by Plumhoff. And they'll get the throw in. Into the area, headed down. Herrera, they tried to chip it back to the middle, Dixon did, but couldn't get it to a teammate. San Antonio will bring it out. Carlos Alvarez on the sideline, ahead for Taiyu. Taiyu, a little step over.
Comes back just deep enough to get this ball, Bob.
Now Curls wants to attack, tipped away nicely by Sam Fink, but he gets it back, moves into the penalty area. Tough angle, knocked away. Bond came all the way back to foil the big man.
Well, Castillo starts it, and he looks on the left flank for Alvarez on a regular basis. Likewise, wide on the left flank was Frank Taiyu. They line up at a 4-5-1. That's at least what was given to us at the outset. Here's Taiyu again making 2 defenders play. Now, that was a happy accident there that the ball fell for him right into his path, but he wins the corner nonetheless.
Here it is, out of the left corner. Curled on, headed up, still dangerous, on the ground. Cleared, and now Herrera. Oh, nice touch. Gets it ahead. Here comes St. Louis with some numbers. Up the left side, and on the run, approaching the area, trying to get it in. A shot on is tipped wide. A big run. Roberts just shot it wide. May have been tipped.
Good runs coming out of the backfield by all the players from St. Louis FC. Jordan Roberts in particular. Here's Jason Plumhoff. Looks up, waits for a joiner. In the person of number 23, Jordan Roberts. You know he's going to have a go. Shoots it at the end. So Jason Plumhoff's evening is finished. Coming on is number 29, Alex Morel, and number 7, Jameel Hardware. And they're being brought into this game for one reason and one reason only, to change it. Pure and simple. And the last time that Alex Morel made an appearance in his very first performance of the year for St. Louis FC, he immediately had an impact on the offense. Very young player from the College of North Florida, played in the NCAA tournament in 2015. He's a lone player from the Chicago Fire, and interim head coach Tim Leonard says, I admire his character. He's been a player everywhere he's played. He's played a lot of minutes for everybody. Comes to the Fire, hasn't been playing that much, but will not give up.
Now Hardware immediately outside the arc, has an opportunity, sends it through. Oh, and they couldn't get it to Plumhoff. Oh, a brilliant idea on the ground to him. They just couldn't connect.
Morel already goes into the penalty area.
I'm sorry, that's
looks
Morel.
For that ball. Exactly right, Bob. He runs into the penalty area, makes himself available for the through pass. And Jameel Hardware more or less said, you do the running, I'll find you. Hardware just outside the tip of the penalty area arc. Alex Morel makes the defenders play. It falls very nicely for Hardware. Keeps it on the dribble. Very comfortable on the dribble is Hardware. Clips it into Morel with the outside of his right. He could almost run onto that. Nicely engineered between the players, the two players who literally just came in the game. But Alex Morel, Tim Leonard was telling me that he simply said to Tim, just tell me what I can do, Coach. I want to play. So between Alex Morel and his teammate from the Chicago Fire, Colin Fernandez, 2 late great additions of young players for St. Louis FC from the Chicago Fire.
Fiero Okinoa comes into the game now. He's going to be replacing Taylor Morgan. Okioma
comes on. He played USL PDL for Charlotte from 2009 to 2012.
So San Antonio sees all the St. Louis substitutions, know there's tons of fresh legs. So he's got to keep some fresh legs in as well.
Head coach for San Antonio is Darren Powell. He coached intercollegiately at Elon in North Carolina for 9 years. Has some experience professionally. He was with Orlando City SC's Pro Academy. Head coach Darren Powell.
Ball ping pongs through the middle. Dixon goes back to get it, takes an elbow in the back, keeps going. Dixon finally hemmed in again. Alvarez trying to get all over him. They send it forward. Knocked down there by Morrell. Chips it ahead for Hardware. It's cleared out of there. Boy, bodies fly.
Flying all over the place. Sam McBride with the eventual clearance. He was battling Jameel Hardware with number 20, Greg Cochran.
Now we'll see where Dixon wants to go with this throw in. Tries to go right at Morrell. Broken up in a double team. They try to clear, but hemmed in. Now curling it ahead. Battling up there, Taiu. Taiu and Fink. Taiu gives it up. He's got Castillo. Wanted to give and go. Broken up. Now he gets it back. Here comes Taiu. Frank Taiu, slide tackle, took it away. But back at the feet of Castillo. We're going to curl it back and possess it for a moment. McBride.
Much better job here by San Antonio. No, as soon as they said they give it away.
Bond steals it away. Has Jameel Hardware. Curls it. Has Herrera. Juggles. Settles. Curls. Can't find an open space as that door was open, then collapsed.
Receive, turn, and that last touch was just too heavy at the tip of the penalty area arc from Herrera.
Yeah, take a look at that one.
Nice ball sent into Herrera from Jameel Hardware. Does the difficult part, receives, brings it down. He's going to turn on the dribble, and that last touch with that little shuffle, just a bit too heavy.
And again, not just because of where the ball was, but because of who had the ball. 3 defenders were on it.
They collapse immediately. They know how dangerous he is entering the game with 11 goals, 3 assists. Now, Bob, we talked about the head coach, Darren Powell. The managing director of San Antonio was Tim Holt, former president of USL, and he served in that capacity from April of 1999 to March of 2015.
And now Vince Cicerelli comes in, second leading goal scorer for St. Louis.
So Jordan Roberts comes off to a well-deserved hand from the assembled crowd of 5,262. Vince Cicerelli immediately urging on his teammates.
Is it fair to say speed for power? Herrera, it might be onside, into the area. Oh, what a play! Cardone does it again. Herrera had nobody to beat. Except the keeper, and he couldn't do it.
Again, the touch too heavy. Really unusual for Irvin Herrera to get the ball on the ground at his feet, sent over the top of the defense. That was a golden opportunity.
That had to be a goal. Bill, had to be a goal.
Positively.
Now physical play. St. Louis obviously very frustrated. And
Bob, you want no one else on the ball but number 19,
that's the guy.
Irvin Herrera. Now Cardone's going to come out to cut this down, but Herrera with that last touch a bit too heavy again.
Too far out in front.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar to the prior play.
He couldn't believe he was so wide open. They'd beaten all the defenders cleanly. Now a dangerous play, and St. Louis will get it back. Bond, very active.
Coming in the tackle was Miguel Salazar.
Into the 65th minute, 2-0 San Antonio. St. Louis continues to play. Fink drives it forward again. Once Herrera, too far. Defenders go back. They're hemmed in. St. Louis, can they save it? Yes. Oh, but not to a teammate. Coming back, Carlos Alvarez. They're going to try the right side. Nice play, tip forward. Taiu looks to run it down on the right sideline. Offensive third, knocked away, and St. Louis will get it. I think A.J. Cochran talk the official into it.
And if nothing else, it's deep in your area, but nonetheless, you keep it on the throw.
Sent it forward. Elbows flying out there. Jameel Hardware tries to bull his way through a crowd, can't do it. Coming back, Bouchou. Jacob sends it forward. They look to settle. Nicely done, good work. Now back forward. Morrell from the right side toward the middle. Near the arc. Oh, little side foot, gets it into Herrera. Lost the ball, got it back to the right side. Dixon, quick shot, oh, what a save! Cardoni, another diving save. Robs St. Louis of another goal.
Yeah, Jim Hewer was helping us out. He mentioned that Sam Fink had 4 yellows coming into this game, so that was his 5th tonight. So unfortunately, he'll miss the next game. Richard Dixon here coming up from right back at the near post. And again, who's there? The goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni.
Out of the corner now. Header, hit the goal, hit the crossbar and came out. Oh, another chip. And wide. A beautiful header attempt hit the crossbar. Oh, it is not St. Louis's night. Everywhere but the back of the net,
As
Bill.
you get later, Bob, you wonder, is this the way it's going to be? Vince Ciccarelli rises to meet it, hits off the face of the crossbar. Ciccarelli comes in. That may have been one of his first touches.
Well, you substituted speed for power, and there was Ciccarelli in the air.
Yeah.
Big power forward.
Yeah, Ciccarelli, who scored last Sunday in Kansas City against the Swope Park Rangers in the 80th minute.
There's a great pass. Sent forward. Morrell is there. Approaches the area. Steps over. Goes to his right foot. Curls it back to the middle. Oh, and just behind the teammates. 2 teammates rushing on. Great work by Morrell.
And that is what Morrell can bring to the side. Dribble at the last defender, beat him, get it over.
Now Alvarez battling, curls one back through. Great run by Alvarez. He is spent as he stands behind the end line. They cleared it out of play. Hey, make sure to tune. Take a look at this attempt from Vince Ciccarelli.
Excellent view of it. Ciccarelli rises to meet it. It goes off the face of the crossbar. Finally, one of the plays that had the goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni, beaten. It goes off the face of the crossbar.
Castillo comes through. As the big man, he let one flying out of play. Hey, tune in every Friday night. Big 550 KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, 7 to 8. They'll have interviews from players and coaches, executives. Great soccer conversation. KTRS FC Soccer Weekly every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. 69th minute, still plenty of time, but what a frustrating night. Efforts there. Now another drive forward. Herrera, but Cardoni saw it, fanned on it. Oh, and Herrera couldn't catch up to it. A rare mistake, and St. Louis can't capitalize.
He's put every foot right so far this evening, the goalkeeper, Matt Cardoni.
Morrell will throw it in, right sideline, offensive third. Dumps it back for Dixon.
And he's not the goalkeeper who's played the majority of the games, Bob. He comes on for the injured goalkeeper and captain Josh Ford.
Bond keeps it direct on the ground, has a man, Morrell moves in, takes a hip check, shoved as the ball goes out of play.
Boy, that's good defending by Biko Brennan there. Would not allow Vince Ciccarelli to get his last foot in there for the last shot coming in. Ball played on the ground to him on his protected side, but Biko Brennan at the last minute knocks it off the outstretched foot of Vince Ciccarelli.
That was Ciccarelli.
Yeah.
I thought it was Morrell, Bill, as he cut in, but Vince is really making himself available in dangerous areas from the second he came into the game.
That's exactly what you have. If you're going to come on late in the game to change things,
make it happen.
Do just exactly that.
And another giveaway by St. Louis.
Yeah, whistle
On a
up
whistle.
offside, yeah.
Offside, boy. It's tight.
I thought the last defender back was much deeper than being level with that top offensive player.
About 20 minutes left. Let's take a look at that. See if what you thought was
Ball
correct.
played on the ground by Vince Cicerelli to Alex Morel, who is standing.
Oh my!
Standing in an onside position directly in front of the AR.
That is the worst call I've ever seen.
And you've been doing this a while.
You can't make a mistake like that. It's not possible. They go to the far side. Oh, a diabolical pass. How did Bond see his man all the way over there?
With that side volley, Chad
Wow.
Bond over the head of the last defender to find Herrera.
Now Bouchou. They move forward again, trying to keep the pressure on. The overlap. And out. St. Louis on the throw-in, left sideline near the corner. Patrick Duty waiting to throw that in.
Alvarez will be exiting for San Antonio.
Daniel Garcia will take his spot.
Another young player, just 22 years of age, homegrown player for FC Dallas.
Well, I got to tell you, as St. Louis has made 5 substitutions, Tim Leonard knows what's at stake and is going all out.
Got to win the game. And drawing level would be better than
losing,
nothing,
but,
of course. But at this stage of the season, when everyone else around you is playing games and perhaps getting results, 3 point, you have to take care of yourself first.
There's a throw in into the area, cleared. Recovered by Duty. Patrick curls on the sideline. Taken away from him. Nice job by Tayu to come back and take it away from Patrick. Yeah, if that other game in front of St. Louis ends in a tie, and St. Louis would be fortunate to come back and get 2 goals in 15 minutes and tie, but then you've got those teams just languishing. Two-hand shove in the back. St. Louis will get it back as Bouchou took a double shove, a 2-hand shove.
Bouchou, who came on at the halftime interval for James Musa.
Ferrier got him. St. Louis gets it back. Dixon looking for a man running in. Wanted Bond, couldn't get it there. Cleared back to the middle. Chested down. Covered by Cicerelli. They want to fire it on. That looked offside, but maybe not. Bond runs it down. Has a man up top. Cicerelli takes a shove, takes a hip check. They play on. Recovered by San Antonio. Bouchou can't get there, although Tayu went down. Fortunate for St. Louis. Jamil Hardware in the middle. Diagonal pass. Has a man. Morel. Tough angle. Into the area. Right side. Approaches, steps over, curls it back through the middle and kicked away.
Tremendous work at a tight space by Alex Morel.
Oh, now it's Dixon beats his man, chipped up top, heading it, or slapping it away. Did it go over the end line?
Yeah.
No, it did. It did, although Cardone made a nice play, a very athletic play to go up and get it.
He knew
made
it was,
a hit of his head when he went down.
He knew it was going to the opposite post, did the goalkeeper, Matt Cardone. And the referee attending to him right now calls for the athletic trainer. But good work by St. Louis FC between Hardware and Richard Dixon and Alex Morel. Here's Richard Dixon up from right back, spends as much time in the other team's penalty area as his own. Gets it over to the opposite post, looking for a forward to run onto it. Here's Cardone, hitting it wide, well off the ground was the goalkeeper.
His head.
At the end result of that.
He might either hit his head or, sometimes you get a lower back spasm. But I think his head slammed the turf.
Matt Cardone, who has been absolutely superlative this evening.
It's the best effort we've seen
for
this
San
year
Antonio
here
by
in
a
St.
goalkeeper.
Louis. Yep.
We mentioned he played in the NASL for the San Antonio Scorpions. As we look at one of the halftime scores of another game being played tonight, the Swope Park Rangers on top of the visiting Los Angeles Galaxy. We mentioned that Swope Park is in 9th place. They have 30 points. San Antonio has 31 points in 8th place. LA Galaxy comes in 6th place with 36 points. Everything's so close at the top of this Western Conference race. This play took place just a moment ago, and this is why the goalkeeper Matt Cardoni is down. He looks up, goes to the opposite post, turns it away for a corner, falls awkwardly, and yes, positively hits his hand on the turf at the end of that last play. Seems to be okay.
What a magnificent performance.
He has been in top form.
So everyone will get set, and they're going to get a corner kick out of the left corner, and here it comes. Curled in, up top, header attempt, knocked away. Hardware gets it back to the left side. They clip it in again. Another header attempt missed. They look to clear. Settled. Fink was able to settle it. Bond sends it in. Over to the right side, and then back up top. A couple guys go down hard. That looked like
that's Morel.
Morel went down pretty hard. Kind of landed on that knee funny. His right knee went down. Getting up slowly. I think he just jammed that right knee. Oh, no, it looks like he's holding his hamstring. Boy, nights like tonight, just make a funny move, you can cramp up.
Well, and his first appearance, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, he had slightly strained his hamstring, worked through it during training, was very cautious with it, and he told me that's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted no chance whatsoever of running back too soon and then tearing it.
About 12 yards out, Duty sends it far post. Well sighted, own it. Just, boy, I tell you what, Cardoni really knows his positioning. He went up for it the last second. He realized it was going to go out. He's going to get the ball anyway and lets it go. Very athletic.
Patrick Duty, the left back, coming in because of the prowess with his left foot to send this to the total far side to the opposite post, looking perhaps for either Vince Cicerelli or this occasion Chad Bond to run onto it.
G&W Meat and Bavarian Style Sausage, proud to be the official brat of St. Louis FC. 50 years as a family-owned tradition. You can't beat G&W Meat. Fence goes down over there. They'll come repair it and remind you here at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Worldwide Technology, proud supporter St. Louis FC and soccer in St. Louis. As you get a look at this, as these two big guys run headlong, you're going to tear this place up.
Hey, what do you say we bust a joint up?
Two heavyweights.
Yeah. Cochran running into Frank Tayu at the end there. Sent him into the hair saloon board.
Hair saloon for men, where men feel comfortable. Tayu does not, however.
No, not after that play in particular.
Worldwide Technology understands with the right culture and teamwork, great things can happen. At the Hair Saloon for Men, I recommend that early morning special.
Consisting of?
Well, you got to have the scalp massage. You may not need a haircut, but with the scalp still there for you.
That's cute. That's juvenile. What
no,
are you, 12?
I'm just saying. I'm right behind you. The makeup they got to put on our 5 heads for the glare before the game. It's incredible.
On my driver's license, where it says hair colored, it says flesh.
We go into the 80th minute. We're not here all week. It only feels like it down 2-0 this late.
Just get it into the penalty area.
Another ball direct. There's a shove, and Mr. Morel did not get away with that one.
No,
or
sir.
Should he have?
No, sir.
St. Louis doing everything they can. They just can't get it in the back of the net. Those two guys just off a stint in the Catskills.
This is not Saturday night at the Chuckle Hut as we get into the 80th minute. Is there something in this for St. Louis FC at the death?
San Antonio under control on the sideline. Garcia had a moment, sent it to his big man. He tried the cross, it was a beauty. And then finally, Ryan Thompson bails out Sam Fink, who was having all he could handle with Frank Tayu.
Boy, Frank Tayu with Sam Fink and A.J. Cochran, both of them looking after him. He is tremendously troublesome in the penalty area. He runs onto another ball, trying to knock it across the goal mouth. This time it's Cochran defending. Just escaped out of play, be a corner kick. This will be flagged by the second half change, Daniel Garcia.
With the left foot. Well defended. St. Louis will try and counterattack. They have a man forward. Can he run it down and save it? No. Running hard the whole way despite that knee. Alex Morel. Oh, St. Louis is going to get the ball back. Wait a minute. That's what everybody's saying. Good try. Little deception.
Good effort nonetheless.
San Antonio takes their time. Go in and then head it out. We'll do it again. Morel kind of put the ball into the chest. The San Antonio player, he did not like it. That is Greg Cochran. That was Morel, correct?
Mm-hmm. Morel and Cochran.
Now they're going to discuss it.
Here's the
here
end result of the play.
You want it, you got it.
Cochran and Morel.
Ball down. Garcia. Double team Dixon curls it back. Nice play by Dixon. Dixon and Bond sends it forward. Has a man. Driving it forward. Looking for Cicerelli. Back up top. Hardware pushed out of there. And he could not get the ball to a teammate, but Bond gets it back with Hardware. Chad looks in, tried to clip it over the top, wanted Cicerelli, couldn't get it there. They're all over Cicerelli after a couple of his opportunities. Now, Jacob Bouchou got big, played big. San Antonio player hits the deck hard. I didn't really see anything untoward, though. It's just physical play.
Just laid in that particular play. That's the goal scorer, number 6, Sebastian Tourrier.
Let's see if we can pick up.
Here's the end result of the play. Jacob Bouchou. It's going to be battling Tourrier. 6-1, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, Bouchou took the
players
brunt
going
early.
to it very hard.
I think he may have rolled an ankle.
Seems to be okay.
Hey, Walter No Florist, your personal florist since 1983. Family owned and operated. Order online today at WKF.com. Tried to send one into the penalty area. That's headed away. St. Louis desperately trying to keep possession as we're into the 84th minute. That cleared out of there to eat up clock. St. Louis not happy about that. What they're considering unsportsmanlike.
Bouchou inside the center circle there. Wins another free kick. And it's very simple here. Just flat it into the penalty area. Either a redirection, a knockdown, or a flicked on header. But it's going to have to be of the absolute utmost of quality to beat Cardoni.
Bond drives it. Tried to head it on. Over the top and out of play. And St. Louis is going to get it.
It'll be a corner kick from this right wing. Patrick Duty will go over to flight this.
Out of the right corner, and now another substitution coming in. This will be Jason Johnson.
Patrick Duty there to flight this corner kick from Naperville, Illinois. I grew up watching the Chicago Fire in nearby Naperville. They had a play there while their home venue, Soldier Field, was being renovated at the time. Winners of MLS Cup in 1998, the Chicago Fire, when they made their first year appearance in the league. Led by the Polish international Peter Nowak.
Jason Johnson in for Sebastian Terrier. There's a header, headed it down, but just wide. Great attempt there by Cicerelli. Well, he's everywhere, but
just to get free, Bob. Just to get free.
We'll be talking about this one and next Wednesday's game next Friday on the Big 550 KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, 7 to 8 p.m. They'll have all the interviews, and they'll have a lot to talk about. KTRS FC Soccer Weekly, Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m.
Oklahoma City Energy comes in town next Wednesday night, the 31st of August. And we mentioned, Bob, just one home game after that. Louisville City, September 17th. 3 road games during the month of September for St. Louis FC.
Bouchou sends it forward, left side. There with Patrick Duty. Knocked away. Throw it in off the sideline. They get it in. Under pressure. Shove. Stay on the feet. Curling back. There's a trip. They play on Chad Bond. Bond drives one. Once Herrera or Dixon, neither could catch up. And it goes over the end line.
Tried to send it over the top over that last defender, Cochran. Did Chad Bond looking for the run of Herrera, who, as we mentioned, will miss the next 2 games for St. Louis FC, representing El Salvador World Cup qualification process, as will Ryan Thompson, the Jamaican goalkeeper.
Cardone drives it back to midfield, headed back on. Cleared back through. Duty runs it down in his own end, but he's there with Tayu. Has to literally tackle him, a football tackle, because he knew it was off to the races. Tayu just posted him up and beat him.
Well, Patrick tried to turn to get away from Tayu. He turned into his path. And that's the last thing you want to do. It eluded him there in his last touch, and Tayu got in behind. Patrick fouled him. He received the yellow card in the process.
Tayu just sealed him off.
And once he gets on the ball, he's going directly at the goal.
Now about 10 yards outside the penalty area, maybe 12, near the right corner.
Those are the games, the last 2 home games we just recently spoke about. Next Wednesday night to conclude the month of August, and against Louisville City. St. Louis FC concluded their year last year against Louisville. They'll do likewise this year. Their last home game is Saturday night, September 17th. Louisville, who's been in top form all year long, they enter tonight in the Eastern Conference with 47 points, second only to the Red Bulls' 53 points.
There's the drive. Woo! Just over the crossbar. What a pill. Absolutely laced.
From Castillo, the last guy on the field you want striking a dead ball in the 89th minute.
He really had to go at it, didn't he? My goodness. Back through the middle. St. Louis in desperation mode. 89th minute, down 2. Send it forward again. Fink pulls the big man down. Cochran sends it forward.
Well, for A.J. Cochran's sake and Sam Fink's sake, this wasn't
Tayu.
soon enough.
No.
The Tayu exits. He is an absolute total handful.
Ronaldo Sanchez will come in for him. Look at the shoulders on this guy. One big guy for no, this guy Sanchez.
Ronaldo Sanchez, come on.
He looks like Drago.
He played intercollegiate soccer at Louisville, then Clemson. These forwards are huge for San Antonio.
Moved forward, cleared back. Back through the middle. Tried to make a little run. Gets it back up top. Castillo again. Pulled down. G&W Meat, Bavarian Style Sausage Company, proud to be the official brand of St. Louis FC. 50 years, family owned. You can't beat G&W Meat.
Castillo, 36 years of age, still controlling things in the central part of the field for San Antonio.
Dynamic. Duty runs him out, and St. Louis will get the ball with time running out. Tim Leonard over trying to find out how much time he's got. The officials fumbling around and says, ask Tim to back off. Tim says, give me the answer. We're at the 90, it says 90. They're going to give him 2 minutes. They're having a little trouble with their, no, now it's 5. It was a 2, change it to 5. A little trouble with their numbers.
Well, I was going to question the 2. We've had 24 changes in the second half.
They weren't that quick. This will be a right corner kick. Castillo jogs over to do it, along with Okioma. Okioma says, I want to do it. Little handoff there on the corner, and they lose it out of bounds. Tried to get tricky, didn't pay off, but 2-0 the score.
Goals by Sebastian Terrier, his first of the year. That was in the 12th minute. And at the stroke of halftime, Rafael Castillo. Castillo's, by the way, Bob, 5th of the year. Frank Tayu also had 4 coming into tonight's game for San Antonio.
I don't know how he only has 4. He's everywhere. He's a monster to stop. But he creates that space for teammates.
Yes, he does. He can hold it up as well.
Jamil Hardware has it in the corner. Poked out, gets it back. Bond lets go to the right side for Dixon. Has him in the right corner. Dixon tries to beat his man. Gets deeper into the corner. Comes up the side and lost it out of play.
Never could get total control of that at the corner flag arc. The Jamaican Richard Dixon.
Sean Chin had him marked up pretty nicely. Cut off all angles. Throw in lob. Bond gets it to the feet of Herrera. Knocked away and cleared, but not out. Bouchou in Hardware. Jamil gets it back to Duty. Patrick with the left foot sends it forward. Couldn't get it over the top though. San Antonio content to clear it to midfield. Sent back in. They try to clear it out. St. Louis can't get more than one pass going. Now Cicerelli. As it's knocked away, he'll throw it in out of the left corner.
Good defending again by San Antonio. They know that Cicerelli's first touch is going to be forward towards the penalty area.
Got it to Morel. Lost it, then they dump it back in. Herrera pulled down, and they may have just pulled the chair on him, the old pull the chair move. I'm not so sure that was a foul, but St. Louis is going to get a whistle.
Penalty kick as we get into the very conclusion of the game, whistled up by Jose Alara.
Was that a penalty, or did he just pull the
Ball
chair on him? Let's see.
into the penalty area. Erwin Herrera. Battling,
I don't think that was a foul.
Battling number 20, Gray Cochran. Looked at the outset like there was contact. Didn't seem to be much in it, Bob.
I think he expected the contact and then the old move. Well, here we go. Herrera looks for his 12th, Bill. We'll see if Cardoni is the magic man this evening. Erwin Herrera. Oh, the magic continues. He robbed him.
Did you expect anything less from Cardoni? He's been magnificent all evening long.
The best keeper performance I've seen all year.
And he continues it in the 95th minute.
He essentially just ended the game right there. Even if there was a 1% chance, and there it goes. That's it. And you see the St. Louis players drop to their knees on the field. Herrera beside himself on all fours. And I got to tell you, as disappointed as we all are for St. Louis FC, there's Jameel Hardware trying to have his friend Herrera get him up. Great effort. Matt Cardoni was the star of the game. He was brilliant from the very beginning to the very end.
A fitting conclusion that the guy who all evening long was in transcendent form concludes with that. And he's obviously pleased with that. But a magnificent performance by the goalkeeper who, pure and simple, won the game for his team tonight.
Without question. Without question.
Penalty kick again by Irvin Herrera with the left foot. Trying to go to the left of Matt Cardoni. And as I said at the time, Bob, considering what's going on for the prior 94 minutes, did you expect anything different?
The magic continued.
Yeah.
He needed it for 95 minutes, and he had it for 95.
So now St. Louis FC, Bob, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games remaining. It may be broken, but it's not beyond repair. However, and this is the huge however, you cannot afford any more mistakes. You've got to get 3 points just about every time you go out of the field.
Can the club, can Tim Leonard get his team to say the effort was there? We did almost everything right. Tip your cap to the opposition for capitalizing on 2 crucial mistakes, and they did. You faced a goalkeeper who was out of his mind, who was, as you said, transcendent. Can you convince your team that the effort was good enough and to do it again and again and again for the final 5 games?
Well, they have to. They're professional soccer players, and they realize that this has to be done. And I talked with Tim Leonard about that exact topic, and he said, I thoroughly think that they're of that mindset. If they're not, they don't belong here. That's pure and simple. You can't get more of a matter-of-fact answer. So we're going to have to see as the home side falls to San Antonio, who now, San Antonio, by the way, they further their stance.
They're tied with Orange County for 7th now.
They have 34 points, tied with the Orange County Blues. Exactly right, Bob, who come into this game with 34 points.
But they're running out of games.
Indeed,
they've already played 26.
They've played 26, and OKC Energy, they've only played 23. They come here next Wednesday night. Nothing is going to change with relation to the Fantastic Four. That is the top 4 team. Minimal is going to change there. Sacramento, Colorado, Vancouver, and Rio Grande. But after that, just throw the cards up and whatever falls heads up.
I really think Swope Park, Arizona, Real, and St. Louis are all trying to chase Orange County for that last spot because Orange County only has 4 more games left. So you have all those teams, to borrow from hockey, have games in hand. I think it's Orange County. This San Antonio team, they're on the move. Yeah, Swope's leading their game, and if they win that, they'd be in that 8th. Well, they'd be 9th.
They'd end up with 33 points.
They'd be 9th, but only a point behind San Antonio and Orange County. So we can go over all the possibilities and permutations. It's got to be done on the pitch.
Yeah, you cannot the days and the weeks of relying on other people to perhaps help you out. That's over. 3 points are mandatory now every time you take the field.
We said at the beginning, time was running out. Cardoni.
Here he is at the near post. Richard Dixon with a blast. He turned that away.
Cardoni stopped their clock.
And he ruined the camera in the process. Nice ball clipped in by Chad Bond, looking for the leading goal scorer, Irvin Herrera. That ball there, Bob, it just got away from Irvin Herrera with that last touch off his thigh. He realizes that. Richard Dixon, again, up from right back. Spends as much time here as he does deep. Now, Cardoni, we thought at the time, when he hit his head there, but he seemed to be okay even after that. That ball was clipped in by Richard Dixon up from right back. But again, we continue to reiterate, only because it's 100% accurate, the goalkeeper won the game for his team tonight.
And he is not their regular. So when a team needed somebody to step up, that young man did. He stepped up big for a team that's won 3 in a row now. 9 points. They've come out of nowhere to climb into the playoff race.
Yeah, he comes in for his captain and fellow goalkeeper, Josh Ford, and did a remarkable job. Absolutely remarkable.
That's going to wrap it up for us. Of course, Jim Hewer and the gang will talk about this one. I imagine we'll hear the lamentations of the women in this one, as this was a tough one to take for St. Louis. But hats off to San Antonio FC, who came in on the road on a warm, humid night and did what they had to do, did more because their keeper was magnificent.
Yeah, 9 points in their last 3 games, and that's why San Antonio has advanced so comfortably in this playoff race. 9 points in their last 3 games.
For Bill McDermott, I'm Bob Ramsey. On the radio side, stay tuned. Jim Hewer will have all you want to know in the post game on the TV side. Good night from St. Louis.